Hello all and welcome to Hydroponic Strawberry Growing 101 Final Presentation. I'm John Harden and this is brought to you by EDTC 5153, Computer-Based Instruction Development, taught by Dr. Kellyanne Newman. It took me a while to figure out what I'm interested in that other people would be interested in that I know just enough to help educate them. So I decided that I would do this course on hydroponic strawberry growth. The color scheme is a very specific question to ask, and for those of us who use Canvas, I couldn't find a way to change the color scheme, so I opted for the only option available to me, which was the default. I organized my content into modules that mirrored the enabling objectives for the course, and they're presented in a top-down hierarchy in chronological order of how they should be completed in a way that anybody new with Canvas shouldn't have any issues following along. To make the site as easy to use as possible, I removed all excess navigation links which are typically included in Canvas, and it's easy to do from the editing page. It's just dragging to where the students can't see. And then based on some guidance from Dr. Newman, I found out how to put up the recent announcements at the top of the page so that students would be able to see what's most important. And it's currently set up to allow 3 of the most recent announcements to be seen, but there's currently only 1 for the course. All modules were created with the same order in mind, where the instructions were the first thing you saw. The next would be some supplemental information if it existed in the module, and the last thing in every module was the assignment, which led to discussion boards. By maintaining the same format throughout all modules, it should be easy enough for any user of the system to follow along and have no excuse for missing an assignment. Since this is a course on learning how to put a hydroponic system together, the first module includes several external YouTube links on how to construct various hydroponic systems. It also includes my interactive element of a quiz that, while not strictly for points, it's more for helping you think through all the components necessary, includes a list of questions for the types of builds included and the components necessary to create those builds. As there's already a wealth of information online about how to build a hydroponic strawberry system, I didn't think it necessary to reinvent the wheel. Instead, I found several reputable sources on hydroponic builds specific to strawberries and just themselves, and added them into Module 1. Unfortunately, some of the links cannot be opened within Canvas, so I did put a disclaimer within the media line to say some require viewing outside of Canvas. The second module is concerned with actually constructing a hydroponics build. In order to provide an example, I went ahead and created one here in my apartment using the nutrient film technique. From there, I created a PowerPoint presentation that was animated in a way that you only clicked once and it would add audio to the images as they popped up. Unfortunately, there were some issues with that, which necessitated me creating a YouTube account and using a feature I didn't know PowerPoint had, where you can convert an animated PowerPoint directly to video. And that's actually what I'm using for this presentation, if you're at all curious. This course is not a strictly academic course. It's more to get like-minded people working together on a common goal, keeping people accountable for one another. With that, I added discussion posts for each module that served as a homework assignment, but allowed other people to view and critique the contributions of the rest of their peers. Canvas is actually a pretty easy tool to use once you get a little bit of familiarity with it. The biggest problem I had was just forgetting to hit the publish button. One of the best lessons from this course has got to be the use of terminal objectives and enabling objectives. Unfortunately, my first go at it, I had an ambiguous terminal objective and some poorly constructed enabling objectives. But thanks to some guidance from Dr. Newman, I was able to correct those and put them into the course. Another great lesson was the universal basic design concept. It was particularly challenging for this course due to the visual nature of construction, the nonverbal nutrient testing tools, etc. And so designing this for everyone is a challenge. One way I could have improved my course was to actually create subtitles for my video presentation. And I found a way within YouTube to do that, but it requires typing as you speak, and that presentation was 30 minutes long, and I just didn't have the willpower to commit to it. But it would have been able to help those with hearing issues and should be incorporated if this thing ever goes live. Another way I could have improved the course is also related to the video presentation I put together, specifically something I'm calling the long slide, which each component is animated with its own audio that comes up and explains why you need each one of the items, but it is approximately 12 minutes long, and I've been told by both my mobile usability tester and the desktop version tester that it was so long that they got a bit distracted, and it would help by putting images of each item in as it's being talked about. The problem there is that slide would become unwieldy, and it would take much more time than I have to commit. But again, if this goes live, I would definitely add those components. The last thing I would do is to make sure that the external links that I had, all of them worked within the Canvas site. There's enough information out there from quality growing enterprises, universities, and governments that there should be enough to fill up the 10 that I cited was a good number without having any of these errors that are still in the site. So again, before it went live, I would try to improve those. The flow of my course is simple. It's top to bottom. It's got announcements on the first page so everybody knows what's important. It's got the modules ordered in the chronological way that they should be completed. They're all built the same way with instructions and at the top and assignments at the bottom. Currently the dates are a bit confusing because they haven't been added because there's no course start date, and I know I'd have to fix that. But overall, it should be easy for anyone interested in growing a hydroponic strawberry system. It's not particularly complicated to do that, and there are a lot of different things to consider, but when you put them all together, I think the biggest thing that this site would do is bring like-minded people together to build a hobby and help each other along the way. Let me know if you all have any questions. I'm more than happy to talk about the progress through this course, as well as getting you started growing your own strawberries. Reach out and we'll get growing.